Our 10th and final serial killer profile belongs to Arthur Shawcross, aka the Genesee River Killer. Arthur Shawcross, also known as the Genesee River Killer, reportedly began his murderous career in 1972 after he returned from military service in the Vietnam War. Shawcross lured a 10-year-old boy into a wooded area in Watertown, New York, to assault and murder him. After that, he murdered an 8-year-old girl. Shawcross was caught and convicted of manslaughter and served only 14 years in prison. His records were sealed so that he could move to a new place and start over without fear of his neighbors or employers hating him for his past crimes. After his release in 1988, he proved that rehabilitation was not successful in his case. Over the next 20 months, Shawcross went on to murder 12 more women. The majority of crimes took place near Rochester, New York, where Shawcross lived with his fourth wife, Rose Wally. Shawcross worked a succession of menial jobs. Boredom with marriage and work led Shawcross to pursue a new girlfriend, as well as companionship with a series of area prostitutes. On March 24, 1988, hunters discovered the body of a 27-year-old prostitute, Dorothy Blackburn, in the woods near the Genesee River. The body showed signs of a vicious attack, which included numerous bite marks and severe bruising on the neck from strangulation. With little evidence and no public outcry to solve the murder of a prostitute, the case remained unsolved. Other murders of prostitutes took place in that time, but no evidence was noticed that linked any of the cases. The discovery of the body of another prostitute, Anna Steffen, on September 9, 1989, finally linked several of the victims. She died of asphyxia, and her body had been dumped in a similar manner to Blackburn's corpse. Her body, however, was found far from the original murder scene, so again, the possibility that a serial killer was at work was not immediately recognized. On October 21, 1989, the body of Dorothy Keeler, aged 59, was discovered. Keeler was a homeless woman who was known in that area. This crime was followed 6 days later by another prostitute murdered, Patricia Ives, in the same area where Keeler had last been seen. Both victims had been asphyxiated, and the press started to show an interest as the cases were linked. Due to the area where the bodies were found, the murderer was nicknamed the Genesee River Killer. In all the previous cases, at least some attempt at concealment had been made, which police felt indicated previous criminal or military experience. They began to advise prostitutes working in the area to exercise caution and sought as much information as possible about strangers operating in the area. Police also began checking criminal records for offenders who might be living in the immediate area. Shawcross's sealed criminal record meant that this shielded him from police scrutiny. As area prostitutes continued to disappear, it became apparent that the killer must be someone familiar to the women who worked in the area. Police were able to piece together a description of a regular client called Mitch, or Mike. Women said this particular customer was prone to violence. Then, on Thanksgiving Day of 1989, the body of 26-year-old June Stott was found. Stott was not a prostitute, which broke one pattern, but she had been strangled, mutilated after death, and was gutted like a wild animal. With the body count mounting, the police sought assistance from FBI profilers. They divided the 11 unsolved prostitute murders into subgroups according to method and position. Behavioral experts developed a profile that described the killer as a white male in his 20s or 30s who was strong, probably with a previous criminal record, familiar with the area, and comfortable enough with the victims that they would enter his vehicle without question. The lack of sexual interference indicated it might be someone with sexual dysfunction. The post-mortem injury inflicted on June Stott and not on any other victim indicated that the killer was becoming more comfortable around corpses, probably returning to the crime scene again later to relive the success on their attacks. The discovery of the body of Elizabeth Gibson on November 27th brought a breakthrough, as the suspect, Mitch, had been seen with her shortly before her disappearance. 1 month later, a pair of discarded jeans was discovered near the Genesee River, containing an ID card for a girl named Felicia Stevens. Police began an aerial search of the surrounding area. On January 2nd, 1990, a helicopter spotted what appeared to be a naked female body lying on the river's icy surface by a bridge in the forest. The body was not Felicia Stevens, but that of missing prostitute June Cicero. Like past victims, she had also been mutilated post-mortem. More importantly, the helicopter spotted a man standing on the bridge next to a small van for a long period of time. Fortunately for the authorities, Shawcross had, as speculated by the FBI's profilers, returned to the scene of one of his crimes to relive memories and feelings of his past attack. Patrol teams on the ground were alerted to the vehicle, which sped away. Police finally tracked down Shawcross via the car's registration, which was in the name of his girlfriend, Clara Neal. When approached, Shawcross agreed to assist the police with their enquiries. When they asked for his driver's license, he admitted he did not have one, and then revealed that he had previously been in jail for manslaughter, which also matched the FBI's profile. Police were confident they had their killer, and further questioning revealed the earlier child deaths and a grandiose account of his Vietnam War service. A photo taken of him during the initial questioning soon confirmed his identity as Mitch, and official inquiries unearthed the reason for Shawcross's sealed record, which prevented the police from tracking him down sooner. Still, during interviews, police were unable to get Shawcross to admit to the murders. Also, a piece of jewelry Shawcross had given to Clara Neal was noted as belonging to victim June Cicero. When police threatened to implicate Clara Neal in the killings, Shawcross capitulated and admitted to most of the murders, giving detailed excuses about why he had been forced to kill each one. He even admitted to the killing of two undiscovered bodies, those of prostitutes Maria Welsh and Darlene Trippi, leading investigators to their bodies. Shawcross's formal confession was nearly 80 pages long. In November 1990, Shawcross went on trial for the 10 murders that had occurred in Monroe County. The last victim, Elizabeth Gibson, had been killed in neighboring Wayne County. The trial was a national media event. Shawcross's defense team tried to build a case based on an insanity plea, citing various mitigating factors such as his upbringing, post-traumatic stress as a result of military service, a cyst on the brain, and a rare genetic defect. The prosecution was quick to dispute the claims about his childhood and military service, casting doubts on Shawcross's testimony. Shawcross was declared sane and guilty of 10 instances of second-degree murder. The judge sentenced him to 25 years for each count, a total of 250 years imprisonment. A few months later, Shawcross was taken to Wayne County to be tried for Elizabeth Gibson's murder. Rather than claim insanity this time, he pled guilty and received a further life sentence. Shawcross was held at the Sullivan Correctional Facility in New York State until November 10, 2008, when he complained of pain in his leg. He was transferred to a hospital, where he died later that day of cardiac arrest.